everyone, this is Rebecca from ChemKnits, and we're back today with another dyeing experiment where we are going to over dye some dark charcoal roving. I'm choosing to play with over dyeing a really dark color because it should still take up some of the color that we add, but it'll help you, especially when you're dyeing with Kool Aid and food coloring, hopefully help us get like a deeper color. And so I'm going to start with dissolving 2 packets of Kool Aid into about, I guess, I'm just going to fill this up to about 200 mils of water. And then if we need the third, we'll dissolve the third. But cherry Kool Aid, I think that each cherry Kool Aid is equivalent to about 30 drops of red food coloring. So 2 should definitely be sufficient. And the only reason why I have a plate under part of this right now is just to help with the contrast from the counter for you to see what is going on. So I saved a tiny bit of fiber so we can look at it in the end. It's possible that this is so dark that we won't be able to make a huge difference with the color that we add. As you can see that as I add it to the yarn, you basically cannot even tell. And I'm mostly pouring because, it's only one color. Whoops. That's why we call this an experiment, right, folks? The nice thing with Kool Aid is that it already has citric acid in it, so you don't need to add any vinegar or anything. I'm going to take this third packet and dissolve it in some water. We've never, in all these dyeing experiments that we've never had one that just has completely flopped. Oops. I can't believe that you can't even see it at all. But it could also just be that the color is just that much darker while wet. I'm just moving all this color through all the fiber. It's possible that since the fiber darkened considerably when wet, that any color difference there is currently, we cannot tell. And it's not something that is visible just because of the darkness of the yarn, and it's possible that we might be able to see these differences once it has dried. So there's just a little more water and color that we'll add there. So we're going to microwave this, as we have done before. We're going to microwave it on high for about 3 minutes or until it's gotten hot. Let it cool for about 20 minutes and then repeat that process. And the reason why, I'm not sure if I mentioned before, the reason why I'm doing this hand painting rather than immersion dyeing is because I am in the middle of my immersion dyeing experiment and I don't know if I will have felted everything. So now it's time to start washing our attempts at overdyeing this dark gray roving. And I'm curious as to how much. Interesting. So we definitely dyed the roving because you can see there's not a lot of color coming out in the water. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this, and then when it's dry, we'll check and see if we actually made a difference to the color. Well, we started with 100 grams of Knit Picks Full Circle Roving in the color Quarry, this dark charcoal gray. And we've now got this deep, almost burgundy-ish roving. I'll put the original color on so you can see the difference that we got from dyeing this with Kool Aid. So it definitely worked, but I think next time I want to over dye a gray yarn, I would choose one that isn't quite charcoal to start off with, something a little lighter, because as you just saw, when I was trying to paint the yarn, I wasn't actually able to tell where dye had been applied versus what was just wet. So there was no way of knowing if you wanted to hand paint it with multiple colors, how the application was going and if it was even. So you can see we still have some like uncolored portions in some places, but since we're going to hand spin this, that is not a problem. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and thank you for watching this dyeing experiment.